Right. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Today in Proverbs. How y'all doing today? Hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. Little chilly in DC. Man, I'm telling you, I don't know what this weather is doing, but boy, don't mess around and get sick. Okay? That's what you don't want to do. Is get sick. um, as you know, Proverbs is my favorite book in the Bible because it tells you how to live today. You don't have to go back 2,000 years to try to figure out what was going on. It was written by King Solomon, the wisest man ever, and no man will be as wise. Okay, and if you read Proverbs, it'll give you what to do and what not to do on a daily basis. Okay, so that's what I like it. Now, I'm reading out of the New King James Version and the Message Bible to try to give you a contrast of what's being said. Okay, now whatever Bible you using is okay. All right, but just come along, and then we'll see what we got. So let's pray and get into the Word. Father, I thank you for another day to gather around your Word. Speak through my mind, speak through my heart, and speak through my lips, Lord, that I may precisely articulate this Word with wisdom and understanding to pierce the hearing, the vision, and the hearts of your children so that we may live the righteous lifestyle that you have ordained for us to live. Okay? As I say, Proverbs got 31 books in the Bible. When they're not 31 days, just keep reading until you catch up. That's how you do that. Okay? So since today is the 17th, we're going to start with the 17th chapter of Proverbs. Okay? Verse 1. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. Okay? Listen. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. That's why some of y'all family gatherings don't turn out where like they should because you got so much strife that's going on. Matter of fact, let me give you the definition of strife. Hold on. That's one of the things we try to do. I don't want to take it for granted that people know what the definition, and I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, okay? But I'm just trying to help some people out. Strife, heated, often violent conflict, bitter disagreement, or rigorous struggle between individuals or groups. Okay? Heated, often violent conflict. Matter of fact, it's because of strife. It's why I created Stop Hating Each Other Because You Disagree. That's why I created that message. Okay? Stop hating each other because you disagree. Because of the strife that goes on among people. Now, in the Message Bible, it says, a meal of bread and water in contented peace is better than a banquet spice with quarrels. So that tells you, man, no matter how grandeur the event may be, if there's strife, you ain't going to enjoy it. Verse 2, a wise servant will rule over a son who causes shame, and will share an inheritance among their brethren. A wise servant will rule over a son who causes shame. In the Message Bible, it says, a wise servant take charge of an unruly child and is honored as one of the family. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. You have not had an experience, boy, until one of your children buck on you. I ain't lying. See, and today, you know, if you discipline children, they can call the police on you. But back in my day, shoot, you mess around, boy, and you get knocked out. That's what would happen. You just get knocked cold out. Verse 3, the refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the hearts. What's your motive? And if you don't have, see, you can fool men with your motive, but you can't fool God. You can't have a hidden agenda with God. You can have a hidden agenda with man, but God don't play that. Okay? In the Message Bible, it says, as silver in a crucible and gold in a pan, so our lives are assayed by God. Let's look up that word, assayed. That's a new one on me too. Uh, uh, assayed. Uh, Woo, man, somebody done gave me some money. Sir, man, thank you for that. Thank you for that blessing. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much for that blessing. Thank you. Assay is to test, analyze, or evaluate the purity, potency, or quality of of a substance. Assay, ASSAYED, to test, analyze, or evaluate the purity. You can't hide nothing from God. And unfortunately, you got a lot of people, and if you notice, even today, a lot of things that have been buried for years are now coming up to the surface. Is now being revealed. People done got away with it for years. And it's now being revealed. Okay? Verse 4. An evildoer gives heed to false lips. A liar listens eagerly to a spiteful tongue. Y'all might know somebody like this. An evildoer gives heed to false lips. A liar listens eagerly to a spiteful tongue. And you might know somebody like it might be somebody in your family just like this. In the Message Bible, it says evil people relish malicious conversation. The ears of liars itch for dirty gossip. And you got some people, man, that's all they live for. Is drama and gossip. That's just their life. That's what motivates them. Drama and gossip. And those are the kind of people you don't want to be around. Verse 5. He who mocks the poor reproaches his maker. He who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Man, you can't relish somebody going through some stuff, facing some adversity. That's not the time for you to relish, to be happy. I don't care who it is, because it's going to come back. Listen to what the Message Bible say. Whoever mocks poor people insults their creator. Gloating over misfortune is a punishable crime. You ain't supposed to gloat. And you got some people right now, man, when they see people faced with adversity, man, they're happy. I mean, they're the first ones hot off the press, trying to tell what's going on. Okay. Um, verse 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. Listen, children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. In the Message Bible, it says, old people are distinguished by grandchildren. Children take pride in their parents. And today, man, it's sad, but you got some kids killing their parents, man. Can you imagine that? Somebody that you done raise, somebody that you care for and love and nurture, and they got so much hatred in their heart for you that they're willing to harm you. I mean, look at this actor, Rob Reiner. His son killed him and his wife. Can you imagine that? What's going on in a child's mind that they want to kill their parents? Something's wrong. And a lot of it got to do with that medication that they're on. That's what a lot of this stuff that you see right now that's going on is the side effect of some medication that they're on. Because see, when you on medication, the one thing they ask you, man, you feel like hurting yourself? You feel like hurting somebody else? They ask you that. Yes, indeed. Because they know that medicine got side effects. Verse 7. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips to a prince. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips to a prince. In the Message Bible, it says, we don't expect excellent eloquence from fools, nor do we expect lies from our leaders. And right now, man, we got some people will lie to you quicker than you can drop a hot biscuit. And they'll tell you a lie just to get your support. And that's the one thing, having dipped my toe into politics. In order for you to be a successful politician, man, you're gonna have to be a good liar. Hands down. You're gonna have to be a good liar and be able to still function. And most politicians are good liars. Verse 8. A present is a precious stone in the eyes of its possessor. Wherever he turns, he prospers. See, a present is a precious stone. Man, that's a bribe. That is a bribe. Okay? And whichever way a bribe turns, it's going to prosper. In the Message Bible, it says, receiving a gift is like getting a rare gemstone. And any way you look at it, you see beauty refracted. Now that's a new word for me. Let me look up that word refracted. Hold on. Uh, refracted. Oh no. Let me see here. That's when you're trying to bend um, influence. Uh, that's when you're trying to have influence on a situation or with people. Refracted. Verse 9. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. And when you repeat a matter, you're gossiping. Gossiping is what break up friendships. A gossiping person is the one who breaks up friendships. Um, in the Message Bible, it says, "Overlook an offense and bond the friendship. Fasten on to a slight and goodbye, friend." When you fasten onto a slight, means you ain't forgiving, you ain't letting it go. And in some cases, you're holding that over a person's head. Because a lot of people, and this is why you need to be careful about the information that you put out, because some people will take that information and use it against you. And they will use it against you. You know, example. You ever had somebody give you something and y'all fall out and they want it back? you ever have somebody give you something and then y'all fall out? First thing, well, give me back what I gave you. Well, you didn't give it from your heart anyway. Because if you gave it to a person from your heart, you wouldn't want it back. Let them have that. Man, enjoy that. I don't want it back. But you have some people, man, that's just the way they are. They be in relationships. Whatever good I do for you in a relationship, I want it back. And it ain't nothing you can do with it. But out of spite, you gotta have it back. And when they say overlooking offense and buying the friendship, man, that's when somebody do you wrong. Even though it might hurt you, but you don't hold it against them. And boy, that's where the rubber meets the road. You want to find out who you are? Overlook somebody doing something wrong to you, and you'll see what you made of. I'm telling you, you'll see what you made of. Verse 10. Rebuke is more effective for a wise man than 100 blows on a fool. Rebuke is more effective for a wise man than 100 blows on a fool. See, you can talk to a wise person and correct them, but a fool, you got to beat it out of them. Okay, That's what that when you come down to foolish people, man, rebuke when you're trying to correct them, man, you gotta beat that correction into them because they ain't gonna listen to it. They can't accept it. They can't accept your rebuke by words. Man, you got to physically put your hands on them. Okay? In the Message Bible, it says a quiet rebuke to a person of good sense does more than a whack on the head of a fool. Even if you beat them, man, sometimes they still don't get it. They come back and do the same thing over and over and over again. Verse 11, an evil man seeks only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger will be sent against him. An evil man seeks only rebellion. In the Message Bible, hold on, y'all, I gotta sneeze. In the Message Bible, it says criminals out looking for nothing but trouble won't have to wait long. They'll meet it coming and going. When you're out looking for wrong, you'll find it. Wrong is easy to find. It's easy to find. Listen, it says criminals out looking for nothing but trouble won't have long to wait. They'll meet it coming and going because it ain't no peace. Ain't gonna be no peace. See, they'll find exactly what they're looking for. Verse 12, let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs rather than a fool in his folly. Let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs rather than a fool in his folly. And man, you ain't met nothing until you meet a mama bear that you messing with her cubs. She'll rip you apart. I mean, rip you apart. And it says, listen, let a man meet a bear robbed of his cubs rather than a fool in his folly, in his foolishness. It's better to meet a bear. That's how bad it is. It's worse than meeting a bear that you done stole their cubs. In the Message Bible, it says, better to meet a grizzly robbed of her cubs than a fool hell-bent on folly. Now that shows you just how powerful that the situation is. And if it's gonna tell you, man, you better off meeting a bear than a fool in his folly. That's some powerful stuff. And unfortunately, some of y'all know some jokers just like that. Verse 13. Whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from their house. Whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from their house. In the Message Bible, it says, those who return evil for good will meet their own evil returning. God, dog. And that's a situation that I'm dealing with right now. I'm out trying to do some good with my message. Stop hating each other because you disagree. And I got one police officer that's got a problem, done confiscated my sign. And they say, man, See, this what I keep trying to tell y'all. Boy, if you start reading Proverbs, you're gonna see, and it says, um, whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from their house. So that's telling you that when somebody's trying to take advantage of you, mistreat you, evil ain't gonna depart from their house. That whatever they doing to you, they gonna get it back. Because evil, that what goes around comes around. And that, man, hey, Hawaii, man, you the first one up in here today. I got 15 people in here, but you the first one pop up. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Verse 14. The beginning of strife is like releasing water. Therefore, stop contention before a quarrel starts. The beginning of strife is like releasing water. Man, if you don't feed into it, you ain't gonna have it. It's just that simple. See, people can't argue with themselves. They're not gonna argue with themselves. They need somebody to vent that anger at. And if you don't participate, how long you think they're gonna argue? Because they're gonna look stupid arguing with themselves. Because you ain't giving them no fuel. Listen to what it says in the Message Bible. It says the start of a quarrel is like a leak in a dam. So stop it before it bursts. The start of a quarrel is like the leaking of a dam. And it takes two to quarrel. It takes two. So if you don't participate, what you think that just let them? Eventually, they gonna talk themselves. Okay, I can't, because a lot of people just want to get a rise out of you. Okay, get under your skin, and what you need to do is stop letting people get under your skin, and you do that by not participating. No, let them have it, and you ain't losing nothing. See, and sometimes a lot of people don't want to be the bigger person to let folk go on thinking they winning. Now, you ain't winning nothing. I'm just letting you go on, and you'll eventually see how stupid you're looking, and you'll give up and quit. Verse 15. He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the just, both of them are like an abomination to the Lord. You see that today in some of our politics. The wicked is justified. And when somebody trying to do the right thing, them the ones they demonize and criticize. Because you trying to do it the right way. And they don't want you to do it the right way. They want you to do it their way. So he who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the just, both of them like an abomination to the Lord. In the Message Bible, it says whitewashing bad people and throwing mud on good people are equally abhorrent to God. And right now, in this day and time, you see, one of the reasons we got the problem that we have too many people that are turning a blind eye to injustice. Because that's the way they've been programmed. thinking that I can't fight, ain't nothing gonna happen anyway. So you just accept it. And this is the problem, not just in America, but the rest of the world. A lot of people have been conditioned to believe that fighting injustice, you ain't gonna get nowhere, no way. So why even bother? I mean, look at them e-files. That's just showing you some some rich and powerful people are above the law. That's in America. It's just them e-files are showing you rich and powerful people above the law. That's how come ain't nobody been arrested. And they got the goods on them. They got the goods on them. And I honestly believe this is why our president is manipulated, because people got the goods on it. That's probably why we in this war, because some people got some goods. Ain't got nothing to do with all that stuff is just made up. It's some more stuff behind that. But when you try to talk about it, see people, oh, there you go. You see, because when it's in your favor, you ain't trying to, when you got something going in your favor, you ain't trying to let nobody mess that up. But if we were morally correct, man, we stump this out. We get rid of that. Don't nobody want to speak up for the truth. Nobody. And I beg to be corrected. I said that I haven't seen one family stand up for their child in this, and I just saw there is one family, and I think this girl committed suicide, but her family is still fighting for the truth to come out. But out of all them other girls that was on the list, where the parents at? How come you other than that family, you ain't seen one parent stand up and fight for justice for their child? And how your child gonna go out of the country and you don't know where they are? How is that? A teenager that can travel the world and you don't know where they are? Oh no, something wrong with that picture, man. Verse 16. Why is there in the hand of a fool the purchase price of wisdom, since he has no heart for it? Why is there in the hand of a fool the purchase price of wisdom, since he has no heart for it? In the Message Bible, it says, what's this? Fools out shopping for wisdom? They wouldn't recognize it if they saw it. They wouldn't. Because that's like trying to mix oil with water, and they ain't gonna mix. You try to instill wisdom in a fool. It's like trying to mix oil and water. It won't work. Because they are foolish. They got too much drama and confusion and chaos. It's not gonna work. And that should tell you that when you run across a person like that, man, you can't talk no sense into them. Don't even waste your time. You ain't gonna talk no sense into them. You ain't gonna talk no sense into no fool. They're gonna have to give that up in order to be able to receive what you're saying. Because when you try to start talking sense into a fool, then they going, oh, you think you better than somebody else? See, they gonna turn the tables on you. and you just trying to share some wisdom with them, it won't work. Verse 17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. In the Message Bible, it says friends love through all kinds of weather, and families stick together in all kinds of trouble. And I wish that was the case today, because if we could heal the family, man, we'd heal the world. If we could just get families to start coming together and talking to each other and stop talking at each other, the majority of the confusion that we got in the world would disappear overnight. If we could just get families to come together, because that is where the divide is. Verse 18, a man devoid of understanding shakes hand in a pledge and becomes surety for his friend. When you become surety for a person, that's co-signing. That's co-signing. When a man devoid of understanding shakes hand in a pledge, when you taking on the responsibility of somebody else's debt. Surety. Sure. Matter of fact, if you don't believe me, let me give you the definition. Hold on. Let me give you the definition. Surety. Surety is a person, entity, or financial guarantee that assumes direct legal responsibility for another person's debt. And this is tell you, see, a man devoid of understanding, you don't co-sign for nobody. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. You don't co-sign. Uh, um, in the Message Bible, it says it's stupid to try to get something for nothing or run up huge bills you can never pay. You don't become surety for nobody. You don't co-sign for nobody. And I know that sounds kind of drag, but eventually, if you co-sign for somebody, you're gonna end up with that bill yourself. You're gonna end up, and a lot of y'all done made this mistake by co-signing. Even if it's for some of your families, you still end up getting stuck. Okay? Verse 19. He who loves transgression loves strife, and he who exalts his gate seeks destruction. He who loves transgression loves strife, and he who exalts his gate seeks destruction. 19 in the Message Bible, it says, the person who courts sin marries trouble, build a wall, invite a burglar. All you got to do is put a fence up. And they going to want to know, man, what's behind that? What's in there? It's going to get some attention. It says, the person who courts sin marries trouble, build a wall, invite a burglar. Because they're going to want to know, oh, what's going on? What you got? And you see, I'm sure you've seen on social media all these people online flashing their money, And while they're online, somebody come and rob them. While they're alive, they sitting there bragging, boasting about how much money, all them $100 bills, and next thing they know, somebody snatching the door, give me that money with a gun in their face, give me that. Cause you out there fronting. See, you exalting yourself. And everybody ain't happy, man. God bless you, keep it to yourself. You come into some money, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Because everybody out there, man, ain't happy for you. A lot of people start scheming on you. That's what they're going to do. How can I get my hands on that? And unfortunately, a lot of crime is out of control because you got people who trying to get something for nothing. They ain't trying to work for it. They want to take yours. That's what they want. They want yours because they ain't out here working. Verse 20. He who has a deceitful heart finds no good, and he who has a perverse tongue falls into evil. Now, I've given you this definition of perverse. Let me give it to you again. Perverse, someone or something that is willfully contrary, stubbornly opposing what is right, reasonable, or accepted. Okay, when you pervert, you're willfully contrary, stubbornly opposing what is right, reasonable, or accepted. When you perverse, you ain't trying to do it the right way. You're not trying, and it says, "He who has a deceitful heart finds no good." Because when you're deceitful heart, man, you're a liar, you're a cheater. When you got a deceitful heart, you get revenge. And he who has a perverse tongue falls into evil. Now the Message Bible say a bad motive can achieve a good end. Double talk brings you double trouble. I told y'all, man, when you start reading Proverbs, it's going to show you what and what not to do. And also the outcome. If you do good, it's going to show you the outcome of that good. If you do bad, it's also going to show you the outcome of your bad actions. Verse 21. He who begets a scoffer does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. He who begets a scoffer does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. Let me give you the definition of scoffer. Scoffer, a person who mocks, derides, or treats someone or something with contempt, scorn, or ridicule. That's a scoffer. He who begets a scoffer does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. The Message Bible say having a fool for a child is misery. It's no fun being the parent of an idiot. Ain't no fun because it's embarrassing. See, because whether you want to accept it or not, the actions of your child is going to have a bearing on you. That's and it don't mean that it's fair. It doesn't mean that it's fair. But the action of your child, whether it's good or bad, is going to have a reflection on you. See, and let me tell you, as a parent, as a single father, see, how you are as a parent is going to be shown when your child is not with you. Let me say that again. How you are as a parent is going to be shown when your child ain't with you. See, because when they with you, man, they on their best behavior. But boy, these buck wild children, man, you ever been somewhere and see some kids loud, cutting up? Man, that tells you the parents ain't got no control of them. Cause if the parents had any kind of influence, they wouldn't even be acting all crazy and loud and rambunctious when they out in public. See, so what kind of parent you are is gonna be revealed when your child ain't with you. And that's the truth. What, I got 9 people up in here. I bet you all 9 of y'all agree with what I'm saying. Verse 22. A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bone. A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bone. Man, that's somebody that's always depressed, always negative, always with some anxiety. That's a broken spirit, okay? And they always rehashing the same thing over and over again. Broken spirit. Man, they rehash the same thing over and over again. In the Message Bible, it says, a cheerful disposition is good for your health. Gloom and doom leave you bone tired. And think about it. Even when you see a person that's always got doom and gloom, when you see him coming, you trying to figure out how you gonna make your exit. Cause you don't want to go through, you know what they bringing to the table. And you don't want to be a part of that. And you be trying to make your exit to get out. Verse 23. A wicked man accepts a bribe behind the back to pervert the ways of justice. A wicked man accepts a bribe behind the back to pervert the ways of justice. That's a wicked man. Anybody you can bribe is wicked. Okay? In the Message Bible, it says, the wicked take bribes under the table. They show nothing but contempt for justice. That's a wicked person. And you see it all the time, man, where law enforcement, police officers, judges, everyday people, man, you can bribe them. You can bribe them. And they could care less about getting caught. All they want is their money. Okay? Verse 24. Wisdom is in the sight of him who has understanding, but the eyes of a fool are are on the ends of the earth. Wisdom is in the sight of him who has understanding. Wisdom is knowledge. Understanding is how to use it. You've heard that expression, man, that's an educated fool. Because they got the knowledge, but they don't know how to use it. And that's what they call them, an educated fool. They got the knowledge, but they don't know how to apply it. In the Message Bible, it says the perceptive find wisdom in their own front yard. Fools look for it everywhere, but right here. And you can have wisdom and understanding right under the nose of a fool, and they all over everywhere looking for it, and it's right under their nose, and they don't even recognize it. They don't even see it. Man, I wonder, let me see if I'm being heard, because ain't nobody saying nothing. Let me make sure. I just thought about that. Let me make sure I'm being heard here. Let's see. Make sure I'm being heard. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm being heard. Yeah, it's coming through. It's coming through. I mean, this is the first time, man. I ain't never got no kind of engagement. This is the first. I ain't got no. I done had one person come over here, Hawaii love. That's the only person I done had up in here. This is the first. This is the first. But hey, man, when it's in your heart to do it, whether people come or not, it don't stop nothing. You know, whether they participate or not. If you're doing it from your heart, man, it don't matter. It don't matter. It really don't. And you have so many people, man, that, you know, they get crushed because they don't get no engagement. And you know, it's okay. It's okay. Verse 25. A foolish son is grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. A foolish son is grief to his father, and bitterness to his mother. And that's real. That's real, because it's embarrassing when your child go out there and do something stupid. It's embarrassing. You know, I mean, man, think about all of these parents with these kids that come out and go out here and do all these mass shootings. You think, man, they ain't crushed? You think these parents ain't crushed? And when your child go out and do something and it gets national attention, you think they ain't crushed? Trying to figure out where did they go wrong? How did they miss that? In the Message Bible, it says, a surely stupid child is sheer pain to a father, a bitter pill for a mother to swallow. The actions of your children can either make you glad or make you sad. The actions of your children can either make you glad or make you sad. Verse 26. Also, to punish the righteous is not good, nor to strike princes for their uprightness. And right now, we got too many people who are being condemned because they try to have a moral compass, do what's right. And that ain't the popular thing to do. When you got so many people in positions that are perverting it on behalf of somebody doing wrong. We can see that in our politics today. You know, when people are perverting justice just to please somebody. In the Message Bible, it says it's wrong to penalize good behavior or make good citizens pay for the crimes of others. It's wrong. And they think they're getting away. And they not. They not. They're going to have to pay. They're going to have to pay. Somewhere down the road, they're going to have to pay. Verse 27, he who has knowledge spares his word, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. He who has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. Why? Because you ain't gonna let nothing get to you. And that takes practice, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That takes discipline, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't just gonna wake up and be able to do this. You're not. In the Message Bible, it says the one who knows much says little. An understanding person remains calm. An understanding person remains calm. Why? Because they don't take it personal. That's why. That's why they can remain calm. Because they don't take it personal. The minute you personalize it, it's when you're going to go off. That's when you're going to go off. But if you have some understanding, you ain't going to take that personal. You're not going. It's not going to bother you. It's not. Verse 28. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts his lips, he's considered perceptive. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts his lips, he's considered perceptive. In the Message Bible, it says, even dunces who keep quiet are thought to be wise. As long as they keep their mouths shut, they're smart. See, because a person only gonna know what you know when you start talking too much. That's how they know who you are. And that's why in some cases it's best to just keep your mouth closed. And people don't know what you know. They don't know. See, they got to guess and wonder. But when you start talking, you're going to reveal what you know when you start talking. So it's best in some cases, man, just shut up. Shut up. Don't say nothing. You'll be better off. All right? And man, that's the end of chapter 17. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got something out of it. And to all of the replay viewers, man, thank you for taking the time to watch. Okay, but regardless, I'm gonna keep doing this, whether I get engagement or not. Because again, what you sow is what you reap. And and you never know, man, especially when you're trying to do good, where you might say something or do something that will give somebody some hope and some promise or some enlightenment. And you ain't got to get credit for it. Man, there are a lot of people that over the years I have inspired and don't even know it. Don't even know it. You know? And you can't be see, and this is a good example. Situation like, man, you can't be discouraged. Cause see, every time you come up to bat, you ain't gonna hit no home run. You're gonna strike out some. And it's only when you start taking it personal that it starts impacting your presentation. But see, what I've learned over the years, when you only got a handful of people, man, that's when you sharpen your craft. Because see, with a handful of people, you can make a mistake and it ain't gonna have a greater impact on you. But if you start getting hundreds and thousands of people in here and you start making a mistake, you're gonna lose some followers. This is the time that you start sharpening your skill, fine tuning who you are. When you only got a handful of folk, that's when you start perfecting who you are. So when the crowd come, man, you can hit the ground running because you done perfected. See, you get into a rhythm. You understand when you just got a handful of people. It don't bother me. It really don't. Because even when I was doing my tours, man, I'd have one or two people. I gave them the same tour that I would give 15 or 20. Give them the same tour. Man, in fact, they got a better tour because I didn't have all of that distraction and I could concentrate on them. See, I can share more information to them. When you got a lot of people, you gotta have a real strict schedule if you want to stay on time. But when you got a hand just two or three people, see, you can take your time. And this is the case. You only got to, man, this is when you can take your time and you can get in and you can do your stuff and you can develop a rhythm. And that's all you're doing is developing a rhythm. Okay? And if you keep practicing that, if you keep doing that, eventually you're going to get good at it. See? And when you start getting good at it, then that's when more people are going to start. It's going to come a day, man, where I'm telling you, it's going to be all kinds of people up in here. The ones who were faithful are going to go. It's going to be so many that they're going to get pushed aside. See, enjoy these moments. Because when a lot of people come in, man, all of the faithful, they're going to push them aside. And they're going to push them aside. They really are. Because it's going to be too many people that's trying to engage. So enjoy these moments, man. Because when the crowd comes, you ain't going to have this luxury. I'm telling you. When the crowd comes, you ain't going to have this luxury. All right? All right. Anybody got any questions? What I got? 13 people up in here, and everybody quiet. Everybody quiet, man. I'm telling you, not even, man. Hello, how you doing today? I mean, I got 13 people. Must be my troll. It must be my trolls because I got one dude on X I blocked. He be up in here because he put a picture. He put my picture on X, and it was one of my lives. And come when I was giving an update. Oh yeah, let me give you a little update. So I went down to the courthouse, and uh, this guy gave me a sheet um, with for the legal aid society, and they only do intakes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Where we had this big storm. everybody everybody went home early, with this big storm yesterday, and the devastation that they was forecasting didn't materialize, but a lot of people got a chance to take off early. So when I went by legal aid, they were gone for the day. So tomorrow, I'll be down there first thing in the morning to get some legal advice about what this guy's doing, because this is anybody. I mean, think about this, man. Stop hating each other because you disagree. Why would you not want that message to be on the street? Think about that. What? Why would you not? Well, even with your negativity, the success of the message will still help you, and you're the only person and it is a violation of my First Amendment rights. So I'm going to get me some legal advice um, tomorrow, and see. And let me say this, man, because there are a lot of people that might be going through some stuff. Man, I ain't got no money to get no attorney, and even I was saying, man, I ain't got no money to be trying to get no attorney. But then when I go down to the courthouse, they say, here's somebody that will do it for you for free. Go talk to them. They'll do it for you for free. So I said, man, praise God. Because I was sure wondering, man, how am I going to get an attorney? I need one. And I found one. Go to Legal Aid Society. If nothing else, they can direct me about what to do. I mean, that's just tell me what my options are. And let me tell you something. Oh, wait a minute. I have been getting some. Oh, I have been getting some people. What is this? Oh, man, no, how am I? No one. What is this? All these legal aid. Yeah, man, my phone ain't working. That's why. Why? Okay, I'm not going back to Old Town. I'm not going back. Man, my website. Um, I'm talking to. I'll be talking to my website person uh, Thursday to get my website truthconductor.com. It's coming, man, and it's tight. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna have workshops. I have a media package that I can send out. People can book me if they want me to come speak to their group. Um, so and that's the one thing. that I got out of this mess. Man, had I not been in this mess, I probably would still wouldn't have been never thought about, man, come on, get your website up. So now it's a time, man, let me get my website up so I can start reaching more people. And once I talk to her, I'm going to get some more signs made with truthconductor.com, because right now all I got is Truth Conductor. But I'm going to put my website on it so that now I can get people, and they'll be able to see. I got somewhere I can send them. And once I get my sign with my website, all I need is another news event. That's all I need is another news event that I can get my new sign in front of some cameras and get my website out before the masses. That's my plan. That's my plan. Is just, man, once I get my website running, just get it out in front of people. And after a while, I'll be too busy to go down to that White House. I'll be too busy. I'll be too busy. One at a time. But you got to start somewhere. And this is what I want people to, man, don't be afraid to start. If you got to start on the street, start on the street. If you got to start in your kitchen, start in your kitchen. Wherever it is, don't be afraid to start. Because a lot of people, man, can cook their butts off. But because they ain't got no commercial space, see, they don't, man, start in your kitchen. Start, so you can get the kinks out. So you can learn, you can experiment with some recipes when you're in your house. See, a lot of y'all don't realize most churches have commercial kitchens. And see, and if you really, man, go to a church and say, hey, listen, let me cook for your congregation. How many services you got? Let me cook, and I'll give you 10% of what I make. Okay? Because that's what you get in tithes and offering, 10%. But let me cook for your congregation. And boy, if you get in a church and you start cooking and they can smell that food, shit, they coming. They coming. They coming. But you starting somewhere. And that's what most folk, man, they just don't want to start. They count themselves out before they even give themselves a chance. And that's the mistake a lot of y'all making. Right? You won't give yourself a chance, man. You won't give yourself a chance. And got some great ideas. Won't give yourself a chance. I remember when I had my Sprinter. My neighbor, may he rest in peace. I used to get out there, man, with my hose and wash my car, wasting water. And one day that boy brought a bucket of water over here. He said, man, Don, come here, let me show you, man, what you can do with just a bucket of water. How you can clean your car with a bucket of water. Because right now, you wasting money. Out here trying to, every time you put some soap on the car, he said, man, let me show you. Give you some water and put a little soap in it. He said, man, you can wipe your car down with one bucket of water. You can clean your entire car with one bucket of water. And for me, it was therapy. Anytime I want some therapy, man, I go out and clean my car. Because it's therapy. But imagine If you could take one bucket of water and go and clean cars with one bucket of water, I'm talking about the entire car, wheels, everything, one bucket of water. But see, a lot of y'all got, oh man, I got to have a cut. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can work your way up to getting you the hoses, the truck with the power wash and all that. You can work your way up to that. But man, you can take one bucket of water and do miracles on a car with one bucket of water if you use your head. Okay? Stop counting yourself out, man. Stop it. Give yourself a chance. Think outside the box. See, most folk, man, they don't do stuff because they think inside the box. Man, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to start thinking outside the box. You can't blend in with everybody else. Because when you blend in, you don't stand out. Let me say that again. When you blend it in, you don't stand out. And your objective is to be able to stand out so you can be noticed. I can walk in any crowd dressed like this, and if a camera pan, I'm gonna stand out because I ain't in street clothes. I'm in a uniform, and I just happen to look like what I call myself, a conductor. So, and even even that was kind of it's really kind of crazy. I see people coming, hey man, that true conductor, how you doing? Man, I'm okay. How you doing? How you doing? I'm okay. Hey, conductor. Even when I went down, um, this cop that arrested me refused to give me an inventory. So I go down to the police station and I said, hey man, I'm trying to get an inventory of my property. And when the guy came up, he's a conductor. He said, man, he said, some folk just take their job too serious. That's just what his coworker said, man. He said, hey man, I done seen you down there for a minute. I wouldn't have said nothing to you. He said, but some folk, man, they just take their job too serious. He said, I know who you are. I've seen you. And prayerfully, man, a lot of them cops down there, man, they don't even bother me. But I only got just one. But see, and I told him when he let me show you. Listen, I'm gonna read the email to you. When I asked him, could I get my property back? This is what he told me. He said, "Good morning, Mr. Folden. As a federal agent, we assimilate some charges in D.C. and keep others federal. It was your D.C. charge that was no paper. Attached are the federal charges that are still pending. These citations were mailed to you. You should be receiving a notification in the mail at the address you provided for those court dates. Once those citations are adjudicated, you can request your property to be returned." Okay, and it takes sometimes up to 60 days for them to send me a court date. And my response to him was, there's no good that's going to come out of this for you, Troya. And thanks for the motivation to finally get my website done. That's just how I responded to him. Ain't no good going to come out of this for him. It can't. Because he's doing it with malice in his heart. You see, and when people trying to do something to you with malice in their heart, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't. It's inconvenient. Yes, it is. It's inconvenient. But man, God ain't failed me yet. And don't mind saying that's how I keep my head above water. And I ain't missed a beat. I have not missed a beat. God has sent people my way, man, that still help. Still. And you notice when I come into my lives, rarely do I say, "Oh man, subscribe and like." And no, man, let me get into what I'm doing. If you like it, I don't have to ask you to subscribe. I don't have to ask you to share. If you like it, you're gonna do it anyway. So that it just tells me. See, when I don't ask this, and the people that come along, those are the people that really want to do it. Those are the ones. What I got 11 people up in here and 9 likes. Them 9 likes is because that's what they wanted to do. I shouldn't have to tell you, man, if you like this, like and share. Subscribe. You don't hear me doing that. Everybody else will do it. And maybe that's why I don't have the subscribers I have, but I just keep doing, man. I just keep doing what I'm doing. I ain't lying. I just for me, I just keep doing what I'm doing. And if God gonna bless it, he gonna bless it. If he ain't, it ain't because I didn't do my part. Okay. somebody just somebody just hit that like button. Somebody just hit that like button. No, it ain't because I ain't doing my part, man. All I got to do is my part. That's all I got to do. And right now, man, you know, I pray and ask God for wisdom and understanding. Just give me wisdom and understanding, Lord, with what I'm doing. So I can simplify this message for people. That's what I pray. Because see, knowing this, now I know the power of wisdom and understanding. See, a lot of people be praying for money. Okay. Drink some beer. No, 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 I'm good. I'm good. Thank you though, but I'm good. A lot of people pray for money. Ask God for a financial blessing. Man, I ask the Lord, give me wisdom and understanding, because I know what come with it. Matter of fact, let me share this with you. Listen, let me show you the power of wisdom and understanding. Let me show you the power of it. This is it's in Proverbs chapter 3, Proverbs chapter 4, and Proverbs chapter 8 will tell you the power of wisdom and understanding. Listen, this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. Happy is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. For her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, and her gain than fine gold. She's more precious than rubies, and all the things you may desire cannot compare with her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths of peace. She's a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. That's wisdom and understanding. And rarely do you go in a church and your pastor teach you about the power of wisdom and understanding. Okay? It's power to wisdom and understanding. That's why it tells you, man, in fact, look, in chapter 4, verse 5, it say, get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget, nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, get the knowledge. Wisdom is knowledge. That's all wisdom is knowledge. And in all you're getting, get understanding. How to use it. Listen, exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor. When you embrace her, she will place on your head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory. She will deliver to you. And in chapter 8, it will tell you when you get wisdom and understanding, it will cause you to inherit wealth and fill your treasuries, which is plural. And your treasuries are nothing but streams of income. And that means, man, you're going to run into some stuff that you weren't even expecting, and you're going to benefit from it financially. That's what that means. But you have to have the patience to allow that seed to manifest itself. See, too many people want to plant a seed and tomorrow be looking for it. See, that's the problem with most Christians. They don't have the patience to let the seeds that they have planted manifest themselves. Because they got to know when it's going to come and how it's going to come. Man, when you trust in God, you don't worry about how. You just believe it. I'm believing God right now for me a brand new Suburban. That's what I'm believing God for. I don't know where it's gonna come from. I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but I'm believing God. Then I'm gonna get me a brand new top of the line black Suburban, top of the line. So when I want to come out and I want to do some private tours, I can do them. If I wanna chauffeur privately, I can do them. See, because let me tell you, when this Truth Conductor brand break off, man, I got some value. See, I got value now. And now when I say, hey man, come do a private tour with me, the Truth Conductor. Matter of fact, I'm paying for lunch and dinner on my private tour. Whereas I'm charging $90 now for a tour. Shoot, I can come a private tour of me. Man, give me $300 with a private tour with the Truth Conductor. And lunch and dinner is included. And you got a private tour with me. Because now I got some credibility. Because my brand has taken off all over the world. See, people don't realize that. Man, once you establish yourself, you got value. You got some value now. And you got a lot of people. I ain't worried about that. See, that broke person, I ain't paying no. I ain't looking for you. I'm not looking for you. I ain't even trying to engage you. If that's too much money for you, you're not the one I'm looking for. But there are plenty of people out there that's got some money and say, hey, what? And I'm not talking about having this 4-5 people, a family is what I'm talking about. I ain't trying to be getting no 10, 12, 15 people. No. I don't even want you uncomfortable. I want you to be comfortable. See, that's my thought process. You might call it crazy, but hey, if it works, I'll be as crazy as you want me to be. Imagine, man, you can in a day, you can make $8,000-9,000 in a day. You ain't got to work yourself to the bone. 2-3 times a week is all you need. That's all you need. You ain't got to be out here day and night and wearing yourself out. No. No. You're taking advantage of the value that you've created. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't try to create no value. They don't try to do it. They don't. That's the last thing they want to do. Because everybody, example, shit, look at the value, Rolls Royce, Bentley. Look at the value that they've created. Everybody can't drive one of them because they can't afford it. So I'm looking for the people that can afford it. Those are the ones I want. Them jokers that talking about it's too much, I ain't looking for you. You're not my target at all. And that's just one side, and not to mention, boy, I got a dinnerware line. Let me get my hands on some money. First, the next thing I'm gonna do is launch my African tabletop dinnerware line. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna launch my dinnerware line. Truth Conductor presents. Because I have gotten the brand. Now everybody knows my brand. And I can broaden it. And it's going to be American made too. I ain't sending this to China. My dinnerware is going to be made in America. That's where I want it made, in America. You see, that's how I'm thinking. See, a lot of people, man, you talking crazy. Man, it might be crazy to you because you're scared. And see, and you're gonna find, man, whenever your ideas are intimidating to people, first thing they're gonna try to do is put you down. When your ideas are intimidating to people, first thing they're gonna do is try to put you down and demonize what you're doing, because the thought of the idea intimidates them. So since they can't see themselves doing it, they ain't gonna encourage you. I get people right now, man. When can I order my dinnerware? It's coming. It's coming. They make fun of me. It's coming. When they gave out them stimulus check, them $1,500 stimulus check, man, I found me a guy demanded to design me some dinnerware with that money. That's what I did with my stimulus check, and still got my domain name too, African Tabletop. Cause, matter of fact, let me show y'all what in 2000, so 26 years ago, I did this idea. 26 years ago. 2622 Georgia Avenue Northwest. Right now, the building, my first storefront is the Hip Hop Museum on Georgia Avenue, right across the street from Howard University. And what I've discovered is a lot of my ideas are way ahead of themselves. A lot of my ideas, man, are way ahead of themselves. I had. Let me show you. Let me show you this idea right here. Okay, that says make your next destination Dubai. I, I I came up with that idea 2 years ago. Make your next destination Dubai. Okay, not knowing that they would have a war. Dubai right now is a ghost town. All that money, the billions and billions of dollars they have invested in Dubai, it is now a ghost town. Everybody gone. You can probably go to Dubai right now and get you some stuff dirt cheap right now. Right now. You could go to Dubai right now and get you a penthouse dirt cheap because they're looking for people to come back. And you can cool believe, man, they're gonna bend over backwards to try to get some people to come back to Dubai. And a lot of y'all ain't thought about that. What? You got people going to Thailand and Vietnam. Shit, go where money is. go where some money at. And that's the place. I look at that. I'm gonna look at what kind of flights right now to Dubai. Well, I know ain't none because the airport jacked up. but this summer, man, I'm gonna take a look at. Man, what would it be like to live in Dubai? How inexpensive would it be right now to live in Dubai? Because it's a ghost town. It's a ghost town. But in fact, let me look. Let me see how tourism has been impacted. You can Google anything. How see what they say. Um, hold on a second. That's two. Do this. Let me see how it is falling. Oh, I got some graphics here. Um, maybe I should. Let me see. Maybe I need to ask the question another way. Hold on a second. Okay, let me ask it this way. Oh, no wonder. No wonder. Oh, let me go to Okay, tourism in Dubai has been significantly impacted early in 2026 by regional conflict, with reports of declining visitors number, empty tourist spots, as shown in this video, a sharp drop in hotel occupancy, airspace closure, and security concerns have led to flight cancellation, causing severe disruption to the travel and hospitality sectors, which contribute nearly 13% to the UAE's GDP. Okay. Um, Reports say that luxury hotel occupancy has plunged, with some resorts suggesting rates have fallen below 20%, forcing massive discount. The tourism sector is facing significant losses, with estimates suggesting widespread regional disruption. And you think some stuff ain't gonna be dirt cheap in Dubai? And you trying to go to Thailand and Vietnam and Cambodia fighting the mosquitoes? Go to Dubai. Go to, if there's ever a time now to invest in Dubai, this is it. This is it. This is the time to invest in Dubai. This is the time right here. Okay? And they ain't got nothing but luxury in Dubai. Nothing but luxury. All right, y'all? I see you later. See you tomorrow, man. Come on, please join me tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Every night, 8 o'clock. I'm doing Today in Proverbs. Okay? I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna keep doing it until God tell me that's enough. You know, I used to do Saturday in Proverbs, and Bernie, who's one of my biggest supporters. Matter of fact, Bernie is at the head of the list again as my biggest supporter, and he asked me if I would do uh, Saturday in Proverbs again, and I said yeah, and the Lord said no, people going through some stuff, do it every day. Because rather than them having to face a week, just do it every day. Because you never know what people are dealing with. You never know what they might be faced with. So just do it every day. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it every day. I'm just gonna do it every day. Okay? And again, it's gonna show you what to and what not to do. And if you're living right, it's gonna show you the benefits. If you're living wrong, it's gonna show you the consequences. It'll show you. And that's all we trying to do. I ain't trying to make nobody do nothing. You can live however you want to live. Cause at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, it ain't gonna have no impact on me. Like when I close my eyes at the end of the day, it ain't gonna have no impact on you. Okay. So you can live, I can just show you the results of how you're living. If you're living right, man, keep encouraging you. Stay that way. Stay on this road. If you're living wrong, you need to get off this road. Because this is what's gonna happen for you. That's what Proverbs is doing. And you know it's got to be anointed because even in 2026, man, it applies to today. You ain't got to think back 2,000 years. It's showing you how to live today. Okay? That's what Proverbs do. Proverbs is showing you how to live today in 2026. You ain't got to think back 2,000 years. Okay? You get it today. And that's what we need, man, to show people what they need to be doing today to be able to survive the madness that's coming. Because the madness is coming, buddy. You can cool believe that. Okay? The madness is coming. Question is, are you going to be ready? That's the question. When the madness hit, are you going to be ready? And that's what we're trying to do. Get people ready for this madness coming so they don't panic. Because a lot of people going to panic and it's going to be chaos. All right? See y'all later, man. Tomorrow night.